All right, I think we're up. I think I'm going. I think. Awesome. All right. Welcome back. It's Saturday night, 7 o'clock. Let's chat. I'm Kat, and welcome. I like to start things out with laughter. We kind of like laughter anyway. Um, Especially with the memes we are blessed with by these great meme people, and especially the Babylon Bee with their satire, because we need to laugh at because the crazy shit will get us anyway. Might as well just fucking laugh because what else to do? But in and out, I like to come in with a laugh, go out with laughs. Keep everything kind of positive because not everything we talk about and chat about are uh, uplifting by any means, especially if you know anything about anything and the way the world is actually going. So, um, I'm going to kind of get into this. We recap the week, everything that's been going on a little bit. Get more into this in a little bit, but yeah, the seems like there's a big rise on the Socialist Party, the Democrat Socialists of America, or whatever the fuck they want to call themselves. They are on the rise under Mamdani, who's now the mayor of New York City, and I just don't understand why it's gotten so fucking bad there. It 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 was nice under Giuliani. Not saying the Giuliani's uh, tactics were the most legal ish tactics, but it did clean up a lot. It's still a mess, but uh, yeah, the Cubans, are trying to get out of Cuba as fast as they can. Um, if the regime will let them leave and try to get to international waters to claim asylum in the United States, which that's just a given that they should be granted asylum coming from Cuba and the dictatorship that's going on there. Hopefully, that's coming to an end. That's kind of up in the air now with everything going on in Iran, but yeah, they fled communism and now they seems like they want to go back to or we're trying to push the communism here. So uh, I guess we could start off with we were talking about some of the bigger wins for the Trump administration from out of the Supreme Court. Um, and one that's not kind of I really don't care for it. Um, the first one here is the temporary protective status program that just more or less, of course, it's 6-3 vote. Three of the women uh, rejected it, all appointed by Democrats. Two of them, Obama, one is the only one from Joe Biden, which she shouldn't even been an attorney. Like I've said before, if that's what it takes, I know in my heart that I am more intelligent than that woman. So I think at this point in time, I could pass the bar and be a licensed practicing attorney without even going to law school. It seems like they just hand the shit out. Of course, that was the temporary protected status. These people were granted safety here in the United States for five years or so because of disaster with the earthquakes and hurricanes in Haiti, the shit going on in Syria. Uh, yeah, it's over. You can go back, and we actually had to go to court to say that, hey, this is how it was wrote. This is how it's going to be. Follow the fucking rules. Why can't we follow the rules? Why do we have to go to court, waste shit ton of taxpayers' money to say that, hey, we have to follow the fucking law the way Congress wrote this? So, of course, like I said, three of them had to say no. Uh, the other one I kind of touched on the other day has to do with the concealed carry permit. We were going to get into that because I kind of touched a lot on it, but now I want to get more into it because of what has been coming out of Ketanji Brown Jackson, the DEI hire that, oh God. Yeah, we'll get into that. But more or less, they wanted to have these weird law that if you can't carry your weapon, if you have a concealed carry permit, which they don't want you to have there in Hawaii anyway, they will make it uh, illegal for you to walk into somebody's property without express written verbal uh, permission to be on that property with the gun. So you stop by a gas station, you forget that you're carrying, and you could be arrested for carrying. And um, yeah, that violates a lot of rules. It violates the Second Amendment and the 14th Amendment, but uh, another one, a good win for immigration, is the asylum seekers that are the ones that came up across the border, just bled through the system, got shipped across the nation by Biden and his cronies and Obama and that. Um, you have to come in through a port of entry to claim asylum. These people are getting passed around the whole nation. They're up in Minnesota. They got here from uh, Somalia, for example, and now they're going to expect to get asylum. Well, Minnesota isn't really a port of entry. Um, you need to go through someplace else. But these people that came up across the borders and now they're in Denver, we'll say, and they're asking for asylum. Now, you miss the port authority to claim asylum, and you have to arrive in the United States for this purpose. Um, you can't just walk across, and the asylum claims are you can't claim asylum because of financial. As much as I don't want it. Um, and that's the reason why we have to protect our workers. And this is a problem that the liberals have been doing, is flooding our market with cheap labor and cheaper housing to deter us for a number of fucking reasons. But uh, one, they don't want us to own anything. But yeah, I forgot where the fuck I was going with that. Um, and that happens a lot with me because I get off on tangents and forget what the fuck I was going to say, and it will come to me later. And my God, it will sooner or later. I don't know. Yeah, the last one that came out this week, another ruling with Monsanto saying that it's not Monsanto anymore, it's Bayer, but the labeling of their products because of they still say that glyphosate does not cause cancer, even though they were found liable that it caused non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And I think it goes even further than that. Glyphosates are the reasons why, a big reason why when I grew up, a loaf of bread only would last 2, 3 days. We had to eat up bread right away. It turned moldy really fast. 5 years ago, I did kind of an experiment in a way. I had some Sara Lee bread. That shit sat on the in my cupboard for over a year, and it was still fluffy and white and not green in any spots. Uh, Glyphosates are the reasons for that. It's increased shelf life. That's great, but we're eating dead food, and dead food leads to a whole bunch of other issues that we have. Number one reason why we have celiac disease, people are allergic to gluten. It's not that you're allergic to gluten, you're allergic to the chemicals that killed the plant. All these people that have celiac disease can go over to Europe and eat the breads in Europe, in France, in Italy, in Germany, England, and you will have no symptoms because of the glyphosates that, according to the EPA, do not cause cancer. The EPA is still running off of studies that Monsanto themselves did. This is still not based off of independent third person in studies, which some of them were, and that's the reason why they were found liable for the cancers. But I think there's a lot more cancers than just non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. But we got to get a scientist on here that can help me confirm that, and maybe we can at one point in time. Who knows? I need to stop that. What? Stop. So in the Hawaii one, the Hawaii gun law. This is why this bitch is a fucking DEI hire. She don't understand laws. She don't understand the Constitution. Uh, like I said, I swear I could pass the bar. If she could pass the fucking bar, I could pass the bar. But what Hawaii was using this law to against concealed carry permit holders, or actually being able to conceal carry, was an ancient law that was brought in 1865. Um, it it was a terrible law then. We'll get into it here. The historical law includes the 65 Louisiana statute enacted as part of the post-Civil War Black Codes. The law made it unlawful to carry firearms onto another person's property without the owner's consent. And that's what they're going for. Why that rule was there was because that way they couldn't have black people that were free. Now they're not slaves. Now they can be carrying guns. What is your biggest fear? Is your fear the reason why we haven't had full out uh, tyranny, communism take over in this country is because we own guns, because the populace owns guns. If you want to have control over the populace, you disarm the populace. And that's what they were doing to black people. They weren't allowed to carry the gun because, oh yeah, you can stop. Well, you can walk through my you can walk through my grass here across the field, but you can't do it if you have a gun on you. Yeah, I know it's the back 40. I know you 100 yards, 1,000 yards away, but no, you can't. And in that point in time, you could make an excuse for something else, shoot the guy dead because he's unarmed. What's he going to do? He can't shoot back. He took his gun away from him. So it was a very, it was a very disrespectful law to the Second Amendment, especially when it had to do with newly freed slaves. And this is a whole push behind the gun lobby, the anti-gun lobby is disarming the populace, because when the populace is disarmed, the control can happen. The liberals deep down in their heart are still scared of what, not necessarily conservative people, but people that just want to be left the fuck alone. And they will fly the black flag for their beliefs to be there and not take this shit from the government. But this fucking Jackson, she didn't defend the black codes. She acknowledged they were racist and used to oppress newly free black Americans. But she argued that they first should have decided whether that Louisiana law itself violated the Second Amendment, or whether a real constitutional problem was that it was enforced in a racially discriminatory way. Well, first off, yeah, it does violate the Second Amendment. That black code, the black law, does violate this. You're telling me I can't walk around? I have to ask permission to carry out a God-given right? And my dad, bless him, he was a liberal, but he brought up the point, well, not everybody believes in God, and he's a God-fearing person. And I said, fine. That's fine, because we worded it different. This is nature's laws. You have the right as a human being, given to you by just being a human being, the right to defend yourself by any means necessary. That doesn't give you permission to be the aggressor, just the right to defend yourself in case somebody else decides to be the aggressor and threaten to take your life. When it boils down to it, in a lot of situations, a lot of times in war, it's either me or you. I want to go home. So, yeah, it violates the Second Amendment. Bigger than shit, it violates the Second Amendment. And we thought we were past all these black laws because we've changed a bunch of shit and it's stupid. But she just comes up with more stupider ways to just sitting on that Supreme Court. Oh, it's embarrassing. I feel like I wish we could have video. Obviously, they don't allow video in there. They do allow recording and to be released at times. But I can just imagine Justice Thomas sitting there just rolling his eyes at some of the stupidest shit that she says. But anyway, we'll move on from there. Yeah, I guess World Cup. Okay, I don't know shit about the World Cup. I don't follow soccer. Fuck soccer. But I thought it was kind of funny that we see Edward Norton. Edward Norton is at the one in L.A. and he's. I don't get it. Why he's talking to himself? He keeps. I mean, watch it. He's just. Who's he talking to? You know, I mean, he's having a good time. Yeah. Gets a drink. Who's he talking to? Is he talking to this guy over here? Because nobody over here, right? Right? Anyway, you guys don't get the reference. Fucking Fight Club reference. Edward Norton, Brad Pitt. Edward Norton was. Brad Pitt was Edward Norton. It just kind of funny we had to throw out there. It is different. Again, I drink milk through here. Whole milk, best milk. Well, actually, raw milk's best milk, but not sponsored by anybody with milk. But I would gladly take it. So that's a little haha in there. Heat wave hitting France. Again with the Babylon Bee. It's warm over there. Yeah, reaching 40 degrees Celsius, 104 degrees. Yeah, okay. That's great. Again, we have air conditioning over here in case we do have days like that. Excuse me. But and it's going to get warm here. We're going to hit our warm stretch. It's going to be a lot longer than it was in June when we were kind of complaining then. That was June. July and August, we said, are going to be bad. And we are in the latter part of June. We were in last week before the great 4th of July. A week away today. Yes. Yes. So we probably won't do a show next Saturday just because it's time to light fireworks off. Yeah. Anyway, it's warm over there. And the last time it got up that hot, I mean, it got up to 114 degrees, it says. 1,400 people died. And I get it. I get it. We don't have the deaths over here nearly as bad during heat as we do during cold because majority of Americans have air conditioning. I mean, there's even air conditioning up in Alaska. Just saying. I mean, some parts of the country just have air conditioners, just stay cool because they live in very warm climates. Like Arizona. I've been in Arizona and I was there it was 126 degrees for about a week and a half straight. You deal with it. I mean, you find shade, but I understand older people are going to be more susceptible to it and whatnot. And it depends on the heat, if it's dry heat, moist heat, whatever. But yeah, we hope that nobody dies over there. Hopefully that it doesn't get nearly as bad, but it's going to get bad here, and we will just deal with that here because it's what we do. I mean, we're still going to be working, and we come home and we do have air conditionings in our homes. If not, we have fans and we know how to operate them, and there's other tricks and shit like that to keep yourself cool. But perfect. Pepe Le Pew. So I think we're kind of getting to a point. We like I said, we've seen a whole bunch of socialists getting nominated to run to be the final, to be on the ballot in November for different things, and these are open Democrat Socialists of America, and it's going to start putting the Democrat Party on the chopping block in a way, because not for sure if they are actually going to is this going to splinter the Democrat Party? Because I don't see a person like John Fetterman, I don't see a person like Van Jones wanting more socialism in this country. Uh, they do, but they don't. And I think if it boils down to it, yes, they've got a good movement going on. They're very active. A lot of these are the Gen Zers, all under the age of 30, heavily indoctrinated in the schools, not just from high school, but in through the universities and whatnot. Highly indoctrinated that capitalism is bad. Capitalism is the root of all evil, when it's the exact opposite. Nature works in a capitalistic way. The only thing that's really being controlled in our world is inflation. Inflation is not a natural occurrence. Inflation is a made up device by man. There's supply and demand, and that's even in nature when it comes to water and food supplies. But you adapt and you move to what you need, and rather than just make it. I mean, we have supply and demand here. Yes, I understand that, but once the supply's back up, prices go back down. But in a lot of cases, we see prices keep going up and keep going up. And there's a lot of different angles that all came in to make it that way. And that's what needs to be looked into, not trying to bring in socialism. Socialism leads to communism. Communism is a disease. Socialism has never worked in history. In our written history that we know of, socialism has never worked. Communism has never worked. The only, you could try to theorize that communism is working in China, but communism, it's not working on that. The people suffer the most in that country, and the people always do. They are subject to no freedoms really whatsoever, and that's what comes along after socialism, after we decide that you work for the government. We got to tax the rich, and everybody becomes a serf. We all become consumers, because we are 100% reliant on the government. The government gives us our money that we can spend on consumer goods. The government gives us our healthcare. The government gives us, well, our TVs. The government gives us everything. That's total control by the government and tyrannical government. And we are coming up on the anniversary of when we got rid of a tyrannical government, and that was a monarchy. But it did tip the scales, even in England, by us doing that and them becoming a more constitutional based country. More on that on Thursday. Thursday is going to be a little bit longer show, so we are going to dedicate it, unless something unforeseen happens, like, I don't know, us blowing up more shit in Iran. Anyway, go back to this. The there's got to be, we've got to get a bigger pushback from the people against socialism. We need to educate. We've lost a generation. We now have to, we are going to come upon hard times because we have created too many easy times. AI is not gonna help in a lot of ways. Social media has killed us. Computers, technology has killed a lot of it, and yet here I am talking to you because why not? So,
America turns 250.
second here. Yeah. Anyway, somehow we've got to be able to counterbalance this mental disorder that has been indoctrinated into our kids. Luckily, I have a kid that's not been indoctrinated into him, thankfully, and I praise the Lord that he turned out good. I don't know what to say if my child became a liberal. I don't know what to say. I would handle at that point in time what I would still love my child no matter what, but we might have a big difference of opinion. But hopefully these people get defeated when it comes down to the actual election. We can expose them for their tyrannical points of views. It's really funny that all these people, all these Democrat socialists are part of Antifa too, it seems like. And what they're fighting for anti-fascists is pushing a fascist idea. Ronald Reagan said it best. If fascism ever comes to the United States, it will come in the form of liberalism. And we've known for a long time, we've had an episode about that. Liberalism is a mental disorder. It's proven time and time again. Now, can you come out of mental disorders? Yes, you can. I do feel what a lot of kids nowadays lack is humility. It's me. It's me. Look, see, I take pictures of myself. Let me take pictures. Oh. Me. They don't have humility. They've never been knocked down a step. God hasn't knocked them down. You know, the Johnny Cash songs, God's going to cut you down sooner or later. And that's what gives you humility. What we lack in society is humility. Are you going, in my personal belief, you're not going to get humility by being a follower of Islam. And I don't think you're going to get humility by following Judaism, even though Christianity takes a good chunk from Judaism. Christ taught us otherwise. That's why we have humility. So, tis that. We talked about Caitlin Clark getting fucking knocked the fuck out, pretty much. The hard fist to the neck. Granted, what we see a lot of times is slowed down. It only happened for a second. I get that. It's still, this is street basketball we're playing. Hard knocks street basketball. Beaver comes out. Oh, hey, yay, we got 2 million followers on any platform. That's great. How many do they have on here? 269. I don't know where it might be. Instagram, maybe. I don't know. Oh, Facebook followers. Facebook. Sorry, I can't read. Anyway, like I said, this is only because of Caitlin Clark. You guys would still not have shit if it weren't for Caitlin Clark going into the WNBA. It's the only reason. If she didn't go to Indiana, say she went to Los Angeles or Las Vegas, New York, there's a Texas team, Chicago, Atlanta, any of those teams, they would be the ones bragging. They would be the ones bragging about the 2 million fans. That's what she's bringing to this. We saw that. I saw that. I've been a Hawkeye fan my whole life. I've never, not that the women's basketball games basketball games are really funny around here. The first part of the season, they don't sell a lot of tickets. It's once we get into January, Big Ten play, especially, usually they sell out, especially the men's, if not close to it. But the women's, they were always had a pretty decent crowd. It wasn't until she decided to come to Iowa, we watched her come out of Des Moines, and yeah, we start selling it out. The tickets on StubHub were going for thousands of dollars. It's ridiculous. That's what she brought. She brought Iowa City, and every place that she played in, revenue from just playing there. Just the business around it gained revenue. She's doing the same thing in the WNBA, but what are we doing to her? We're allowing hardcore street basketball. And it's not just against her. I'm not saying every assailant is a black person, because we got plenty of video of other girls hitting her that were white. It's not a racial thing as far as who's attacking her. Sometimes there's racism, but there's a lot of jealousy. And it's not just with her. I've seen other clips from other different games where this is just all out fucking assault. If a cop walked, I swear, if a cop walked by on the street and saw somebody doing that to somebody else, they'd probably get arrested, I would think. That's a hard foul. Yeah, my nose is bleeding. You broke my nose. Just a hard foul. A lot of times we were playing basketball, no blood, no foul. Okay. Well, my arm's going the opposite direction now, and no blood. But I firmly believe that. And who knows? Is she going to walk? What happens if she decides to go over to Europe and play, like all these girls do during the off season from the WNBA? They play over in Europe. What if she decides to go over there and play permanently? I bet you Italy or whatever would offer her a huge contract to play exclusively, because they know they would get their money back. They would draw all of Europe to every single game because they like basketball over there too. Got a lot of European basketball players here in the United States. But she's going to draw a crowd as long as she's not hurt. And I'm not saying that basketball isn't a physical game. Nobody's saying that. But what we're saying is, why does it have to be so physical that people are getting constantly hurt? Hurt from being hit, from fouls, when the refs are clearly watching this. Do we need to how about this? Do we need to institute instant replay where somebody gets knocked out, you can call a timeout and say, hey, I want this a replay for a foul. Hey, Can you imagine doing that and then them looking at all the flops that LeBron James was doing and start calling the fouls back on him, or you lose timeouts or whatever when you lose your challenge? Well, floppy LeBron wouldn't be doing the same shit. I'm not a LeBron fan, and I like Jordan. I've always loved Jordan, but before we get to that, again, with the we talked about. I've talked about it before. The patriotism on the left is so far down. They only 20% of them feel patriotic towards America. It's all based off of who is in office. Me, I'm 100% patriotic. I love my country. I don't give a fuck who's in the Oval Office for me to love my country. Plain and simple. Other people see it other ways, but there's many men and women that have died to give us what we have now. And I'll die on that hill. We owe them, I feel, and by respecting them, carrying on their legacy, carrying on our great freedom that we hear, flying our flag is one of them. Celebrating 4th of July is another one. Flying your flag on 4th of July is really good. But no, here in Plum Island, Massachusetts, they get a letter saying that, you can't have devices and materials intended to deter the protected shorebirds from frequenting beaches and dune systems. That includes mylar streamers, flags, and reflective materials. If you do not comply, there will be penalties. Well, that's great, and half of I swear most of this shit's made up when it comes to protecting animal life. Obviously, it was made up having to do with the Palisade Fire. The reason why the reservoirs aren't full is because we're looking for this species of fish that might have spawned here. And how do we know that? It was through hearsay, and this fish might not have ever been there or existed, and we've wasted decade of taxpayer money to do this when they knew the answer to start off with. It's just a pump and dump money thing. It screws people in the long run. So, are these endangered species or not? So, they were really looking forward to having this up, and they're going to have their stuff up. They've planned on distributing 50 American flags, around 100 revolutionary style flags. I mean, you're in Massachusetts, one of the original 13 colonies. Why wouldn't you have a Revolutionary War to symbolize what happened 250 years ago, actually 250 years ago, 251 years ago, in 1775, with the shot heard around the world in Bunker Hill, Massachusetts, which is now a suburb of Boston. And we're not too far away. We're talking Plum Island. Plum Island's right here, with Boston down here. But they've got all this beach land, which most of this whole little island off, I don't even understand how it's an island just because you have a little river flowing through it. But all of this is all protected. This is all wildlife refuges, state reservation. So we're only talking about this town up here. This town. That they were not going to let them because of the migratory birds. Well, again, this is another push. Massachusetts is a very, very liberal ass fucking state. They have been for a very long time, but it's another push. Supporting the flag is racist. It offends people. It offends me to hear people say that they are offended by the American flag. For sure. What can I do about it? Nothing. But I can speak up and say, fuck you. I hate you. I think you should leave this fucking country if you do not like what we're doing in this country. If you don't like the freedom that you have here, leave. People have died to put us here. Creative innovations. This happened earlier, about a week ago. Elon put Starlink in Southwest Airlines. Well, not him personally, but his company, Starlink, has now you have Starlink throughout your flight, so you have high-speed Wi-Fi from gate to gate. Really? I remember cell phones came out more and more popular. Please be sure to turn your cell phone off on the plane. We're about to depart, so your cell phones need to be off. If you run your cell phone, we could crash. That's pretty much what the consensus was. Then we seen some Verizon phones. Oh, that's special. It's using a different technology to do this, to do that. And now we actually have Wi-Fi coming from satellites, bouncing down and around and back and forth. It was all a gimmick to start off with. And I remember, especially Obama, when he became president, he loved his BlackBerry, and thinking, shit, you gonna tell the president to not be on his BlackBerry when he's on the plane? Bullshit. Fucking Trump's been tweeting from freaking flights forever. So that's been all a big fucking joke, and it's kind of hilarious. That's great. Now you got Wi-Fi on the plane. I guess I sleep on the plane usually. I haven't flown in a while, but yeah, it didn't matter if I had a phone or not. I like the window seat. I like to be able to look out. I'm scared to death of heights, but I will fly up in a plane. I probably would jump out of a plane, even though I have not found a good reason to jump out of a perfectly good flying airplane. If the airplane is going down, I will jump out with a parachute. That's just but yeah, I've found other things to do. I flew more times without a cell phone than I have with a cell phone. So there's other shit to do. Read a book. I've read books. I've taken naps. I mean, I remember sleeping most of the way from LA to Chicago. So anyway. I just think that's funny that now it's okay. You have your cell phone out and you could be doing everything else. And yeah, that means you can still make phone calls and whatnot. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Oil, I like to hit the commodities a little bit here. Gas is down. Gas needs to be dropped way down. Oil's down under $70. We've been higher back in. It's way down. Not to say that this isn't going to put a fucking dampener in everything right now. We're hitting Bahrain again. Bahrain. So this might fuck all the gas prices. I noticed gas prices were getting down to close to the right at the $3 range, and that's going with the E15 gas that I suggest everybody running their vehicles. If it's at least a 2015 or higher, I would suggest running it. You're not going to see a performance difference. Your vehicle will run it no problem. I've run it in my vehicle for a long time. I've actually been privileged enough. We've had ethanol available forever in Iowa with at least 5% ethanol. So it's always kept our prices down just a couple of ticks. But I've used it in every vehicle. I've used it in every fucking lawnmower. I've used it even on with chainsaws that low. I wouldn't use the E15. The main thing with small cycle engines, especially two strokes, is make sure you actually have the 50-50 mix and not just straight gas, because that kills. It's not the ethanol. But this might just fuck up everything. Bahrain has been hit. We have struck back because we've allowed them during the ceasefire. They have built back some of the shit they've salvaged and whatnot to get back up radar, and they've always had drone capability. They can hide that shit in the mountains. Damn. Sorry, excuse me. But yeah, that might fuck the rest of the week up going into the 4th of July. Hopefully not, but I'm to the point where that maybe we should just take out that whole side. They want to keep attacking the ships going in through and not the Strait of Hormuz. Maybe we just take down that whole column. A couple of Moabs would do just fine. We're dealing with a multi-headed snake that doesn't even know what it's doing half the time, so it becomes a challenge. So our week goes on and on. But I think we've run down most everything that I needed to for the recap of the week. Like I said, I'd like to go out on something a little bit funnier. We came in on something funny, kind of leads into a discussion. Whew. I'm tired for some damn reason. So this is actually kind of neat. This is good AI. I really enjoy it. It's just it's got two elves. The chef and Hannibal Lecter and his liver with a nice countess. It would have been funnier if we actually slashed her. Kill Bill. Why don't you go ahead and kill Bill Nye besides me? Just kidding.
You gotta try these nuts.
Ghostbusters and a ghost. Good old Bill Murray Ghostbusters. Still being protected by the Men in Black. Maybe that's who was after them all along. Was it the minute? It was the FBI, or was it CIA? Fuck. I haven't seen E.T. in a long goddamn time. I grew up with that movie. Anyway, I'd much rather keep it on Bill and Michael Keaton. Two good actors. Two very good actors. So anyway, we will call it a day for tonight. We'll come back on Tuesday. We'll see what happens with this bombing shit. Again, is the ceasefire permanently broken or not? Who's actually breaking it? I should have put money on it. Damn. Anyway, we'll hit you up again on next Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Thursday will be our 4th of July party Declaration of Independence go through. We've got the documents, we've got some other documents, we got some good talks about this wonderful, wonderful year. It's wonderful next week that we're going to have. God bless everybody. God bless you. God bless the United States. Thank you all, and we'll see you later.